children. In the case of Homa Bay, they are our children, all of us. And therefore, whether it's at the eye level or whether it's at primary or secondary or the university, we must take it as our responsibility to know what is happening horizontally and vertically, so that when we produce these children, they are whole children who can become responsible global citizens. Allow me to present my apologies, which I know were presented yesterday, because when you came in I was not here, I was out of the country, but because this is very, very important to us, as soon as I came back this morning, I have come down to make sure that I caught up with you to be able to hear. I was hoping more to hear what was being presented, but because I'm late, I will also just make a few remarks. I'm sure that my team from the county have made their comments as far as I is concerned. What I'd like to just open by saying is what this Greek philosopher said, I forget his name, but Collins probably knows, that the only constant, change is the only constant in life. So things must change. There are some people here who are in the system. Heraclitus, yes, thank you, Father. I knew somebody will definitely know who that philosopher was. Heraclitus it is. There are people among us who are in the system that went to Form 6. Then they're here. Yeah. Oh, if you're here, you are the majority in the tent. Then there are those of us who are in 844, through and through, who are still in 844. Then we are, oh, you see? Then now we are moving to CBC. So where are the CBC people? Yeah, so we must evolve, we must change. 844 was what it was. We hope that with every change, we make improvement. So I think the reason why we are all here is to see whether the change we are making is just movement or it is change that is improving what we are giving to our children. As a parent, I had a taste of the current system, the CBC. And I thought it took us out of what we knew. It involved us, it got us out, it got us working, taking children, I don't know where, you pick what, bring that. But unfortunately, I was only a parent of CBC at the very initial stage, and then the pilot ended, and so my children continued with the 844 and to other areas. But I thought it was bringing in a practical sense to learning that was not just what we knew as making sure we had crammed sufficiently for the exams. So that is my experience from a parent's perspective. But I know that my team have already spoken to what affects us coming to the eye, which is what is devolved to us as county governments. So of course we have spoken to the challenges. First of all, my signature there is there must be change. We can't run away from the fact that there must be change. We must evolve. So we must just check whether this change is taking us to where we need to go. So I will not be part of any group that says, let's go back to where we were, because we must evolve, we must change, we must move forward. We must share responsibility in this change as county governments and as the national government. We must have shared responsibility. So even where there are challenges, do we just speak to the challenges and leave it there? Or do we look at how we can improve so that we are part of that change? So one of the challenges that has been spoken about, I'm sure, is the lack of appropriate infrastructure, facilities for CBC, that the piloting results or outcomes were not shared fully with stakeholders for them to understand and own the system, empowerment of parents during implementation, lack of adequate training of ECD teachers and officers on the CBC system, inadequate funding for resource enhancement, assessment standardization for ECD children is quite cumbersome, and the issue of capitation or lack of it, for lack of structured capitation for the ECD sector to facilitate ECD programs. But let me say that from a county government perspective, we must also get involved in addressing some of these challenges. So I think CBC cannot be a conversation, or change in the education reforms cannot be a conversation only to be held for the national government. Counties must be part of it, counties must be involved, counties must be part of the conversation, so that even the challenges that we ourselves are raising here, we can help to resolve. For example, if we talk about capitation for ECD, that is our responsibility, that we should be able to see how to resolve together. Whether it's training of teachers, of our ECD teachers and so on, those are issues that we must engage with and see how to support and how to involve ourselves in. So what I'd like to say, as I've seen the challenges are listed and I will leave them, but I would like to say as Governor for Homa Bay, that we must be part of the solution in terms of a system that will work for our people. Counties must be involved as part of the solution, not just part of the problem or part of the complaining. So we are ready. As you move around the country, when you get views of our people on what they feel is best or how we best get involved, we will be ready to be part of the solution and to play our role and to play our part in making sure that our children have the best that they can get. So thank you very much for those many remarks, and for worry of repetition, since you've been here since morning and I'm sure these things have been spoken to, let me just leave it at that. Asanteni sana, karibuni Homa Bay, and God bless you. Dr. Dote, asante sana.
Your Excellency, before you take your seat, I just want to invite you to the working party. Please move forward. The County Director of Education, the County Commissioner, the Speaker, please just move forward for a group photo, and then we can.
CBC. Yes.